Hello, my name is Kevin Nelson. This is my WebQuest report for EESL 521 for the fall 2015 semester at CSU San Bernardino. What is American accreditation? That's an issue that I am touching upon because because currently I'm living in China and I have had literally several hundred students at this point in time go through my classes in preparation for going overseas, most of them to the United States to do studies. Most of them are going to be overseas scholars. They already have PhDs in their respective fields, but are trying to improve their English. So they already are very familiar with the educational system here in China. They are already established as instructors or associate professors here. Their problem is they want to advance further, so they are going overseas. I also occasionally get students who are regular college students that want to be overseas students. So this is for them. So the first thing that I'm doing is asking and explaining to them, why is American accreditation important? So I go through and explain that issue, defining what accreditation is. The task is fairly complicated. Basically, they're supposed to understand what American higher education accreditation is, how it can affect their future, how it can affect the schools they may be interested in, how it can affect their majors, and how it can affect the specialties that they want to do, as well as how those things can affect their futures. The process for this is actually very lengthy. I have 9 different steps. They will be downloading they'll be looking at a website that gives a general overview. They'll be looking at a vocabulary sheet that they'll download. They'll be looking at a couple videos, one on regional and national accreditation, another on specialized accreditations. Then they will be going through and examining a document from Penn State that talks about how each of the departments there is individually accredited and with which agencies. So they will be discussing these together as in teams of 4 students. Then they will have different roles assigned to each other. They will then examine roughly 33 different websites. And who knows how many links they may go off of that. They will then do research on the individual institutions that they themselves are thinking of attending and the majors that are there based on the information that they have learned from the earlier stuff. Then they will actually go through and they'll create a PowerPoint presentation. Then second part that they'll be doing is that they will be writing in a paper that will for their instructor that will talk about what their own future educational goals will be, what programs they researched, and what accrediting programs affect their choices. On a separate sheet of paper, they'll be also evaluating their other team members, which is something that I've noticed that most WebQuests do not do, even though they require teamwork. But it's very important, I believe, because there are always those times where you have people who will outperform others and then those who don't do anything. And for the purposes of grading, I think that that's a very important issue there. So they'll also be listening to other people's presentations, so the group's presentations. For the evaluation, I created a rubric here, making use of HTML that will be used to evaluate their group work. The rubric here has many different items. It can be adjusted. I did not assign point values on this because I want the instructor to be able to have the freedom to do this in accordance to their own approach. Conclusion, I have a real upbeat note saying, hey, they just completed something that is typical of an American university college project. I remember having done many projects like this myself in groups, and it's been was a very useful type of project. Credits, very simple. Basically, there were the 30 plus websites that I made use of that I have listed earlier, plus images where I had gotten this and made use of a dictionary. Notes for the teacher I put in a separate section, just simply because it is extensive, and the main thing is the fact that this target students are going to be fairly well-educated students. They're going to be students who live outside the United States who are going to be going into a university, or American students that will soon go into a university. It gives various other issues there, like if it's done within an American high school, okay, how can this WebQuest be modified for that focus? It also goes through giving them ideas as to how they might approach the different programs. So like I have an approach here if they have 12 or fewer students, and an approach that may be able to be used if they have 13 or more students. And I also give further information about myself, so that if they have any questions or comments about things in the future, they can contact me that way. So, at any rate, this is my presentation, and thank you very much.